So, excuse me, already starting. So, this is Carla. Welcome to the studio. I am about 10 minutes early. I come on early on when I go to do my Friday night lives because I need to set everything up for the video. So, bear with me if you happen to pop on or actually if you're watching the replay, just skip over like about 10 minutes and then we'll kind of get started around there. So don't mind me. I'm going to be doing some setting up on my video. Okay, so I will be right with you. Okay. Okay, so let's go here. Okay. So we're about there. I don't see anybody on yet, but it is like 4 minutes to, so we're good. You can see like that little bit of a mess I got going on behind me. I seriously got to clean up that calyx unit. All right, so what's the next thing I need to do? All right, so I'm done with that one. Let me grab this. Okay, so that's pinned. And looks, let me just make sure I got everything done here. I think I do. All right. It looks like I may have everything together here. And not quite 7 yet. We still got another 2 more minutes. Just make sure I got everything I need set up here. Okay. Hello, Carol. Carol, have you been able to add your name to the spreadsheet, or were you having Terry add you? Were you having issues trying to get on or get access to the spreadsheet actually? Oh, okay, cool. Hopefully you have gotten the card from last week. I did mail it out. Yeah, I actually mailed it out Saturday. Okay, I think I can safely close that now. Okay. Hello, Froggy. All right, so it is 7:01. So I guess I can get started. So welcome everybody. If you are watching the replay, as I mentioned when I first came on live, fast forward about 10 minutes because that's my time to set up my live. I don't know if YouTube has fixed the issue. Before, when I've scheduled my lives, I have everything set up, but what was happening, I would start my live and then my horizontal orientation would flip to vertical, and that's not the way we want it. It doesn't work very well. So I've been actually coming on a couple of minutes early just to get all my description stuff and everything copied and pasted into the description of the video, add the thumbnail, post the link out on Facebook to let people know that I am live. So I got all of that done, and it only took me about 10 minutes. Now, one thing I will say that I am kind of glad that things worked out, because I didn't know if I was going to be able to go live tonight, because about, I want to say, was it about 3:40, my internet went out and it didn't come back until about 6:15. So that was kind of cutting it a little bit close. But luckily I had everything that I needed to get done for tonight's video, where I needed internet for it. And so that's all good. And I didn't need to print anything else out as far as what Stampin' Up! Has offering, because we have the same, well, there's 3 items. 2 of them are going to end at the end of this month, so that's next week. So that's just a little reminders that I have for you, which I'll show after I flip. Also, I didn't show that I kind of started showing a little bit. I was going to last Friday, but I didn't have all the different components all together. But I'm going to show you the, what is it called? Uh, Elegance of Something Sweet. It's the new Valentine suite that's in the online exclusives that demonstrators can currently pre-order it. And then I think on November 5th, I think that's the day where all the new online exclusive items, customers will be able to purchase that stuff. But this is the Valentine suite that I got this one early. This is what I'm going to use for this Valentine's Day, especially making all the little treat packages that I do for church. So I'm pretty excited about this. The paper is just absolutely amazing. Um, what else is there? So yeah, last Friday, so I got done with that video. I got in something to eat for dinner. And then as soon as I was done with that, I needed to plan the 3 projects for my class with Splendid Autumn the very next day. That's not the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to get this stuff done well in advance. But yeah, it was, by the time I got done coming up the projects, prepping everything, doing the PDF, all that. Yeah, it was about 3:30 in the morning by the time I got to bed. But I was up at 7:30. I did get to the church to vote at 8:15. They opened at 8, so I got there at 8:15, went to the store, went through the car wash, cleaned the apartment, which wasn't bad, and then I was done in perfect timing when my guests came for the class. So we got the class done, and when that was all done, then I was making 2 Pastor Appreciation Day cards that I needed to have done for the next day to take to church. So yeah, the whole weekend, it was very, very busy. This week, it was kind of late in me getting my Throwback Thursday done. I used the Boo to You stamp set, and there's not a lot of samples of stuff that were made with that set. So I struggled a little bit, but I managed to get it done, and it was uploaded here by 8 o'clock on Thursday. So it was still Thursday, so it was good. But I did, yeah, the projects I have for tonight, they did get done last night. I didn't go to bed at some ridiculous hour. And I got everything done in time, no stress, no worries. And even with the internet going out, and luckily it came back in time. So, with that, other than that, there's really not much of anything else. I mean, next week is going to be a big video week because Thursday is not only going to be Throwback Thursday, but it's Halloween too. So there's Throwback Thursday, there's the Halloween video, and then the very next day is Friday Night Live. And being that it's the first of the month, it's my monthly Christmas card inspiration. Now, as far as what I'm using starting in November, um, just think it's going to be all Christmas. I have a lot of Christmas stuff that I want to use, so we're going to start. My next Friday Night Live is going to be one of the suites that's in the Holiday Mini. Um, the only other fall related thing I'm going to do is going to be on the actual holiday, the Thanksgiving video, but yeah, I still have to figure out all the products that I'm going to be using and what I'm going to put in my newsletter as far as what the video schedule is going to look like and all that for the whole month, and all the stuff that will be happening next month as well. Hard to believe that next week, next Friday is November. And Christmas is going to feel like it's a week later because there's a lot of stuff to do. So, okay, so with that, I am going to flip this. Now, just before I do that, there is a link that I have pinned at the top of the chat box. If you are new here, what I do is at the very end, I do a wheel of names, and I give away the 3 cards that I have made, for this video. Now, if there's not many people on here, I basically have a total of 6 cards. 3 of my are my samples, 3 are what I've made during the live. So at that point, if there's not many people on here, then everybody gets a card. But up at the top, that's pinned up there, is a link to a Google spreadsheet. Add your name to that spreadsheet, and at the end I will add all those names to the wheel, and I'll move my laptop because I don't have fancy software that I can flip the screen to, to my laptop and all that. But um, add your name to that, and then I'll add your name to the wheel of names, and I'll choose the winners, and you get to choose which card that you want that I have made. Um, if let me if you have any issues at all with adding your name, just let me know, and we'll get it added for you. Now, Carol, you said that you added your name. I don't see it, but I am going to add it right now. And I see that you've already got yours there, Froggy. Okay. And okay, so with that, let me flip this. So if you get motion sickness or whatever, close your eyes and I will let you know when you can open them, okay? All right, we're gonna flip. Okay, now just give me a moment here to kind of get things lined up because what I see in on my laptop is it's a bit of a delay, so I was creating my cards was it yesterday and didn't realize when I did that I took the lid to my memento tuxedo black ink, put it down on the paper, and there was ink on the edge of it. So needed a clean sheet. This is still the same pack of grid paper that I purchased when I first started, and that was back in October of 2013. So clearly I don't use enough. I wasn't using enough of this at all. Put this down a little bit. Oh, okay. Well, I got you, so you're good. You're good, Carol. All right. I think we're good here. We're just gonna stick this down and call it good. Okay. So what I was mentioning earlier about as far as like announcements, account housekeeping type of stuff. So this is what's currently going on. So our kits collection, there's some in there that are up to 30% off. There's a variety of different kits in there. So there's card kits, treat packaging, home decor, and more. Now this does not include any paper pumpkin kits. It's just these, that's what's considered just the kits collection. Some of them are an all-inclusive kit that has a stamp set and ink, and then there are some kits that there's no stamping at all, it's just assembling. So this is going on until the 31st, so next Thursday will be the last day for this promotion. We also have a starter kit special going on until the end of the month. The price of the starter kit is $99 plus tax. The shipping is free. You typically would choose $125 in product in your kit. That can be product that's in any of our current catalogs. It can be anything you see basically online in the online store. So things from the clearance rack you can add. There's when you actually go to do the, to choose your items, even those online exclusive items that are currently pre-order now for demonstrators, you will get to see those products. You can add those as well. So during the promotion, uh, instead of $125 in product that you get to choose, you get to choose 155. Now, when you get the starter kit, yes, you become a demonstrator. Now, does that mean you have to do what I'm doing, holding in-person classes, doing videos? No, you don't. You can simply be a demo just to receive the discount on your products, and you get all the other perks that a demo gets. So you get to see new catalogs early. You get to pre-order out of those catalogs early. And there's also demonstrator only events that they also have that you can attend those as well. So if you have any questions at all regarding if it sounds like something that you may be interested in, but you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to answer any question that you may have. And then the final thing, this is for the scrapbookers out there. As you may or may not know, Close to My Heart had closed their doors a few months ago, and Stampin' Up had stepped up and they brought on some of their makers, and they also took on like some of the product that Close to My Heart was also selling that was kind of exclusive to them. In the beginning, their Close to My Heart branded products were just available to those makers and to their customers. And then later on, it became available to all Stampin' Up! Demonstrators and all customers. So right now, what Stampin' Up! Is doing, all those products that have the Close to My Heart name on it, they are looking to move that product out. They are bringing in some new product, and there's also some product that's close to my heart that we are going to be carrying on. That's a hard word. Carrying on going forward. So Stampin' Up! Used to do the traditional 12 by 12 scrapbooking stuff like a long time ago. They kind of phased out of it and it was more about card making. And then they went from Project Life, which was kind of like a pocket type of scrapbooking. And then now we have Memories and More, which is the same concept. But we didn't have much in regards to that 12 by 12 traditional scrapbooking stuff. So Stampin' Up! Is bringing that all back. One of the things that close to my heart was, it was a big thing for them, is they have, and I'm going to shift this around a little bit and hopefully I can get it lined up while I'm talking. Um, they had two-tone cardstock, and their colors are different than the Stampin' Up! Colors. And we're not having an issue here with the internet, are we? I just saw that the chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you, and then successfully connected. Hoping that I do not have no internet issues since it just came back. But so what they're doing is the ink pads that were close to my heart colors, they're two-tone cardstock. There were a couple of scrapbooking workshop kits that they had, that those things are marked down. Now there's other things in there too, like their flip flaps and page protectors. Those are going to be items that we're going to continue to carry going forward. Now, as far as the two-tone cardstock goes, Stampin' Up! Is going to offer the two-tone 12 by 12 cardstock in all of their colors. So right now, some of those colors, you can find them in this scrapbooking brochure that I do have a link for in the description. And then come January, there will be another scrapbooking brochure. This is something you can access online. And then come the new catalog that I think comes around in May of next year, then all of that stuff will then be in the catalog as well. So for those of you that are big into doing the scrapbooking, um, take a peek as to what's out there. And now when you go out now I do have the link, like I said, in the description of the video. If you click on that, it's going to take you directly to that page in the online store of where all the close to my heart products are. Okay, now they didn't say when this sale was going to be over. I think they're just going to continue this on until all of that close to my heart branded product is sold. Now again, some of the things, they're going to carry on, but the packaging will end up saying Stampin' Up! Rather than close to my heart. So they're just looking to get rid of that stock that just strictly says close to my heart on it. Okay, so that's that on the announcements. Now, before we start, I told you that I did get this Valentine's suite. So let me bring that out. So this is the Marbled Elegance Specialty Designer Series paper. And this paper, hello Sharon, my fellow Long Islander. We had a great conversation last Friday. It's not every day that you come across someone who actually knows about the town that you grew up in. Okay. Yeah, Froggy didn't miss anything. I'm just starting on showing this suite, and then we're going to get into the projects. So this is, like I said, the Marbled Elegance DSP. So you have one side that has basically your flat type of print, and then look at the other side. The other side is like this paint pouring technique, and you got some splashes of the gold foil in it. And the colors in this, there's Real Red, Melon Mambo, and let me get the package because I'm going to forget something. Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo, Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, Real Red, and Gold. And then here's another one. I'm going to have fun playing with this paper. And then there's the other print. Every year, what my church does, they collect like little treats and little gifts for the women and children that are at a women's shelter, and also at a teen boys home. And so I have a whole bunch of the little treat bags, and I fill them with some different stuff, and then I make little cards to go in there. So this is definitely going to be a suite that I am going to use for those projects. So again, the artist, we saw how they did this. Basically, they used that paint pour technique, and then they just added some splashes of the gold foil onto it. That's a nice striped. There's the other pattern. And then we have our flat pattern. And then there is the other side. Okay, so that is of DSP. And then the next thing that's in here, there is a roll of the gold twisted thread. And then there's also the gift bags combo pack. So there's a total of 16 bags in here. So you have these smaller ones, and then you have these larger ones. So 8 of each. So really cute. And then these are the adhesive backed heart sequins. Very shiny and gold. And then the bundle, let me bring that in. So there is the Hearts of Elegance photopolymer set. So you have some different fonts in here, and then a few images to stamp. And then here is the Hearts of Elegance set of dies. And these, typically I take my dies off of the sheet because I don't like the tape, but I kept them on here until I was able to show them. So this one looks like it'll cut, and then it'll do a little bit of some stitching. And then you have a few of your outline hearts and 2 that do some stitching as well. And then here you have a couple of dies that'll cut out the stamped images. So this is the Valentine suite. Now I don't know 100% about in the new mini catalog that will come out in January, as far as what Valentine's stuff is going to be in there. When it came to Halloween, Stampin' Up! Did not put any Halloween in our holiday mini catalog like there usually is. And then there's there's an assortment of like maybe a sweet or two and some other stuff. But, you know, this year they didn't put any in there. They know from feedback, there are a lot of people that like to start doing like, their Halloween card making and stuff early. So they offered it in an online exclusive a couple of months ago. Well, at that time, we really didn't realize that, okay, the bundle that I'm actually using tonight was basically really that and a standalone stamp set that I'm actually going to use for my holiday video next Thursday. That was it as far as Halloween went. Then, when we started with the scrapbooking stuff and we had the brochure, then they came out with a 12 by 12 pack of DSP that will coordinate with the bundle. So I'm going to be using that as well. But as far as Valentine's go, again, this is a whole suite that's in the online exclusives that's going to be available, I think next Tuesday, for everyone. But I don't know what's going to be in that holiday mini. I don't know if they'll have any Valentine stuff in there or not. So I won't know that until probably maybe near late November before we can pre-order out of the catalog. So I won't know, what there'll be for Valentine's Day going forward. So that's an option if you want Valentine's stuff. All right, so now let's dive into what we are going to be doing tonight. So, like I mentioned, this was the bundle that they put into the online exclusives. Again, no Halloween stuff was in the holiday mini catalog. I'm just moving my lights out of the way because they're glaring onto the stamp sets, onto the packaging actually. Um, so there's this bundle, and then this was the other stamp set that they had. This was basically the only thing that was Halloween that was available for this year. So this is what I'm going to use as my holiday video next Thursday. But it's just a standalone stamp set. No dies that go with it. Then with this, when we had that September scrapbooking brochure, then this DSP was part of one of the workshop kits. And this one is called the Halloween Spells DSP. There's Basic Black, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Pool Party, and Pumpkin Pie. Now, this is a little bit different than our other packs of DSP. You have 12 sheets and you usually have like 6 different designs. On this one, you have 1, 2, let's see, 3. There's like 4 designs, so you actually get an extra sheet of each pattern in the pack of paper. Okay, so let me get the paper out of the way because I have already pre-cut everything, and I got to realize if I turn my head away from the phone, I don't have a microphone on, so I apologize in advance because then you won't hear me if I turn around and I start talking. All right, so the cards for tonight, I did a lot of prepping on this, so a lot of things that needed to be die cut and embossed. I already did that in advance because I will tell you, and we're going to see what happens tonight. But I'm still struggling, you know, with having some pain like right in here. Now I've had a brace on the whole, you know, last night and all of today. So hopefully I can get, like I said, I did a lot of stuff already in preparation. So the struggle may be on coloring. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so to start off, my card base, it's lemon lime twist. It measures 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4.25. I have a piece of that, what's the name of that DSP again? That Halloween Spells DSP. So I went with the pattern with the pumpkin pie with the dots on it. And then out of a scrap piece of basic white, I had die cut this piece using this smaller deckled rectangle die. And then ahead of time, out of a scrap piece of basic black, I used the stamp with the cauldron, and I stamped it with, let me move now my lights over so you can see a little bit better. I had stamped it with Versamark, and then I heat embossed it with the black embossing powder. I think you can see that. I see that there's a little bit of glare from the lights on it. So I went ahead and I did that ahead of time. All right, so this card is a fairly easy card. There's not much to it. So I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. And then I'm going to take my DSP and bring in my adhesive. And this one is acting all funny. I don't know if this is the other one. One of these, I put the refill in it, and I don't know if it's a bad batch or not, but the cellophane, it just, I don't know, for some reason it's not rolling on there right. And we didn't want to do that. Okay. And then I'm going to add this to my card base. And I'm not going to put it on straight. I'm going to angle this like so. Okay, and then on this piece, what's nice is the stamp set is photopolymer. So on this one, I am going to use the Hocus Pocus, and then there's an image that has these bubbles. And let me put these on their blocks. Okay, and then the ink that I'm using is my Memento Tuxedo Black and Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to take my Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. I find, Froggy, that it seems like when I use Versamark, that really sticks to the stamp. And for the longest amount of time, I've been using my chamois. Maybe something like the Stampin' Scrub, where you kind of got like a little bit of the rough surface. Maybe that cleans it a little bit better, but I don't know if you ever actually get all of it off, because I can still see a bit of like dullness, like that residue still on there. But it's not gonna hurt it. One of the tips that someone's mentioned that, you know, if you're stamping with photopolymers and you're using colors like, you know, your reds and your purples and your pinks that may stain the stamp, that if you ink it in Versamark first, then they don't tend to stain as bad. I mean, they're still going to stain either way, but the only suggestion I can say, I mean, between a chamois and the Stampin' Scrub, I would say maybe the Stampin' Scrub would work a little bit better in removing most of that ink off of there. For, like I said, for the longest amount of time, I've always been using, you know, my chamois, but I find that that thing dries up like way too fast. So I decided, let me bring out, you know, my scrub. And honestly, the cleaner that we have, I kind of like the smell of that. So let me make sure that I am pulled all the way out here. Yeah, I'm as far as I can go. And kind of move this down a little bit so then that way I'm not so far away when it comes to stamping. All right, so a little Hocus Pocus, and I'm stamping that in Gorgeous Grape, and I'm going to stamp that right up in this corner. Okay, and then on the bubbles, bring out the black. And see, I got ink on the edge of it, so of course I went and put it down. So yeah, I had it all over my grid paper. Now, what I want to do is I want to take my cauldron and I want to place this, just place it where it's going to go. So this way I know where to stamp these bubbles. Okay. And I'm going to move it, stamp this down, and try not pressing it down with my left hand because it does hurt a bit. Okay, move that out of the way. And I'll move that. Now to color the bubbles in, I'm going to bring in some scrap paper to put underneath this. And then I have my small blending brushes. And that's got ink on it. Try to clean this off. I don't know what that is on there. It doesn't seem to be coming off though. All right, so I'm going to bring in my pumpkin pie ink and lemon lime twist. And I'm going to start off with this. And get some of that heavy excess off. And then I'm going to do about half of these bubbles in the green. And I'm not worried about that. I got like this like halo of the color. That's kind of the effect that we want on it. Okay. And then let's do the rest of it with the pumpkin pie. Okay. I think we still had a little too much ink on it, but that's okay. We're going to roll with it. Okay. Then I'll close this up. Now before I kind of put this together, I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella. It's easier to do it this way before I put the cauldron over it. And let me make sure that I actually have some coming out here. Yeah, I can feel it right in here. Really thinks that it would be the hand that I write with. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. Then I'm going to take this piece, add some adhesive, and I got ink on my finger. And then we'll take this and we'll add this straight. Okay, and then for the cauldron, I'm going to bring in my black dimensionals. Okay, and then we're going to take this, we'll add this right here. And then for my embellishments that I'm going to use on all three of my projects, I am going to use, these are the adhesive back sparkle gems. And this comes, I think I wrote it, no, did I not write it on here? There's champagne, there's white or clear, and then there's black. So I'll be using the black on all my projects. So I'll get my Take Your Pick tool, and we'll add one of our large ones here, and then two smaller ones right up here. Okay, so there is the first card. Okay, so let me bring in the stuff for our second card and clean these stamps really quick. So we're missing Yvonne and Terry tonight. I'm sure they'll come and watch the replay. Okay, now second card. Okay. Again, I did a lot of the embossing, and I did my stamping and I die cut them out. I just have to color them. Okay. All right. So Let me get these out of the way. All right, so for my card base, that's basic white thick. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of basic black that measures 5.25 by 4, and then out of a piece of basic white measuring 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, I went ahead and I embossed it with the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. Okay, and then then I have a piece of basic white. This measures 2 3/4 by 5/8. This will be for our greeting. And then ahead of time, out of a scrap piece of basic white, I stamped the books and the crow images in my Memento Tuxedo black ink, and we'll be coloring those in. So let me fold and burnish my card base. Okay. And then I'm going to adhere my embossed piece onto my basic black, and then the whole thing onto my card base. Okay. And I'll center that. Actually, let's make sure that this is straight. Okay. All right, now we'll put this on here. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. All right, so let's see. So we have a few others watching, a couple others. So um, I do have, for those that are watching that haven't commented, I have a link pinned at the top of the chat box. It will take you to a Google spreadsheet. Add your name to that. And if you're having any issues, I mean, please leave a comment in the chat box and we'll add you. What I do at the very end, the projects that I make tonight, I do a wheel of names and I give away the cards that I have made. So if you would like to participate in that, please go ahead and add your name and I'll do that at the very end. Okay, so there is my card base. Then I'm going to bring in my scrap paper here. I'm going to color these things in. Okay, so the colors that I am using. So I have my light wild weed. I'm going to use that from my crow's beak and his feet. And then I'm going to use dark smoky slate and light basic black for his feathers. And then for the books, I have light and dark berry burst. I will be also using, I think, the light basic black also light lemon lime twist, and then my light and dark pumpkin pie. Okay, so with that, let's see how we do here. I was doing a lot yesterday and I wasn't wearing a wrist brace yesterday. So of course, as we were getting into the evening, I was definitely feeling it. Okay. And then let's see, this is the Smoky Slate. Now I didn't use the dark basic black because basically if I would have colored this in, you would not have seen any of the detail at all in it. I'm going really light around the eye and between the beak there. There's not a whole lot of space. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to take the light basic black and just some of these little detail areas on his feathers. Just going to add a little bit of that darker. Okay, and then one of the things I want to do with this, because he's going to be standing on this stack of books, there is a large border of white on the bottom of his feet. I'm going to trim that. That way you're not seeing too much of that. And of course, fussy cutting is not one of those things that I enjoy doing. But at least with this, I'm not doing a whole lot on there. Okay, so now for the books. I'm going to start off with my light Berry Burst. And I want to color in this top book. Okay, and then my light basic black. Now for this one, I'm going to try doing this with my brush tip. Now this is only going to work if your brush tip is in good condition. And I'm just doing a really light touch because there's not a lot of space here. I'm trying to follow that line without getting confused with the lines that are in the pages. And then I'm going to take the light lemon lime twist. I'm going to do the same on the book right beneath it. I see that I'm already going past the binding and into the pages, but again, there's not a whole lot of space here. And then we're going to do the pumpkin pie on the bottom. Okay, then I'm going to bring in the dark berry burst, and I'm just going to add a little bit here on the ends of that one book, and then the pumpkin pie on the bottom. Okay. And we're going to leave that light smoky slate and the lemon lime twist out. I'll be using those on my final card. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in, okay, where did I put it now? Okay. So what is, oh, there it is. On this. All right, so I'm going to bring in this little piece of basic white. And I got my ink. And then for this one, I want my Happy Halloween greeting. Actually, I'm good on blocks as far as stamping goes. Okay. Ink this up. And then I'll center it. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back. Let's see, that's all ends. That's all ends. Those are my little ones. There we go. All right, so I'm going to add 2 here on my bird or my crow, and a couple on the back of my books, and then on the back of my greeting. Wow, I've already been on here for like an hour already. Wow, it doesn't even feel like it. Well, if you subtract like 10 minutes from it. Okay, so I'm going to figure out where I want to place these. Okay, so that looks about good. So I'm going to place my books down first. And hopefully that's straight. Yep. And then I'm going to add my crow right on top, like so. Okay. All right. And then this is going to go right here. Okay, and then this is what I had left of my linen thread on one of my rolls, so I've already cut it. So I'm going to just create a bow. I'm just doing a single stranded bow rather than doubling it up. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my glue dots. Yeah, put that on. Okay, and then we're going to add that right up the top corner of those books. Now, the linen thread, when it's on the roll and you pull it off, it's kind of got this curl in it, but I like to have a lot of curl. So what I do is on my bow, I'm going to hold this knot. So when I go to take my bone folder and kind of, you know, like what you would do when you're doing like that ribbon curling with that ribbon for packages, the same concept, but I do want to hold that knot so that when I do this, I don't end up untying my bow. Okay, and then I'm going to trim this down a little bit. So, get my scissors. Okay, so I'm going to snip like so. And then I'm going to bring in these adhesive back sparkle gems. And again, we're using the black. So I'm going to add, I typically go with like one large one and then two small ones. But if there were 3 different sizes, I'd be using like one of each size. Okay. So there is the second card. Okay, so we got one more left. And again, with this one, I already did a lot of the prep work ahead of time on it. So let me get that. And then I'm going to pull out the cat stamp in here. Okay, let me get a block. Okay. All right. So this one has a lot of pieces to it. Let me dump that all out. Okay, so for this one, my card base is pumpkin pie. It measures 8.5. Hold on a second. Okay, I did fold it. I did score it at 4 1/4. When I looked at that, it looked like this part was wider than this, but no, it's 4 1/4. So it's 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4. And we'll fold and burnish this. Okay. And then I have another piece of pumpkin pie. This is the same size as the card front, so it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And ahead of time, I had embossed it using the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. This one is in the Holiday Mini. This is actually part of that reindeer suite that's in there. So this possibly could be the first suite that I'll end up using actually next Friday, November 1st. So the reindeer suite may be the one that I use next Friday. I'm pretty sure because I got options. So So the same size as the card front, 5.5 by 4.25. I have embossed it with that embossing folder. Now this is a weird size piece here. Now the way I got the size for this is basically this piece of gorgeous grape. I had die cut it using, I think it was the larger deckled rectangle, or was it the smaller? No, it was the larger one. And after I die cut it, I ran that through the dotted circles 3D embossing folder. And then I basically just wanted a little bit of a black border to show behind it. So the basic black piece measures 4 13/16 by 3 3/4. Okay. And then ahead of time, I had a scrap piece of white. I stamped the cat. Why, I don't even know why I went and put this on a block, because I already stamped it. I stamped it in the Memento Tuxedo black ink, and then I'll be coloring it in using the dark smoky slate and the light lemon lime twist. And then out of Pecan Pie, I die cut 3 of the broomsticks. And then this, out of the die that does the brooms themselves, this is, let's see, this is the Berry Burst Old Olive and White Glimmer Specialty Paper. This is an online exclusive. This is part of that Simply Zinnia suite. So this is still in the online store. So I cut 3 out, 3 of these brooms out of the Old Olive color. And that's it on all the pieces. So let me get all this adhered. Now, because this is going to fit on the whole card base, I'm going to use my liquid glue instead of using the seal. This way, it just gives me that little bit of wiggle room to line it up all even. Whereas if I use the seal, that stuff works, I mean, that sticks really, really well. And the problem is when you try to do something like this and something's not straight and then you have to try and pull it up, then you end up creasing your paper. So for this, I'm going to use my liquid glue. And this is the Tombow multi-purpose glue, or what they call green glue, that's in our catalog. I put it in a fine tip glue bottle that I got off of Amazon. And I do have a link to those bottles in the description of the video. I got, they come in the package of 10, so I have quite a few. And as a matter of fact, I had to refill another bottle because last weekend when we had the class on Saturday, my friend accidentally packed it in her bag with her stuff until I started cleaning up later on. I couldn't find my glue, so I ended up filling up another bottle, and then she returned it like the next, well, on Wednesday. So, all right, so that's glued down. Then, let me close this up. Then I'm going to, for this part, I'll use the seal. So I'm going to add some to this gorgeous grape piece. And I'll adhere that to my basic black. And then I'll adhere it to my card base. Got adhesive on my finger. Okay, and then I'll center that like so. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and color this in. So let me bring in my paper, and then we got our markers. Okay, psych myself up to color these in. All right. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do after I'm done with this live, I've already done my dinner and that's all cleaned up. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a head start, and I'm going to start planning and designing those projects that I'm going to do for the 2 videos next Thursday. Kind of get ahead of the game and get like all of the pre-recorded stuff all planned, and trying actually record and schedule it this weekend. And then all I have to really focus on then is next Friday night's live, and my newsletter as well. I got to plan out what I'm going to use for all the videos, and also for my in-person class, because I don't know what I'm going to use quite yet. Usually it's when I go, just before I go to do the newsletter, that's when I kind of decide, okay, so what am I going to use? And like I mentioned before, if you would like to be on my newsletter list, it lets you know what my video schedule is going to be as far as what products I'm going to use. And then it gives you info too about what Stampin' Up! Has going on, and also what I'm doing as far as like my in-person class and things like that. Okay. Let's not do too much because that's starting to hurt. And then I'm going to bring in my light lemon lime twist and do the eyes. Okay. All right. So now let me bring in these broomsticks. Okay, and then I'm going to take these brooms and I'm going to place them under. So the one end of the broomstick does have like this little ball area, so that gives you a little bit more cardstock if you were gluing these down. Okay, and then for this part, because it's so small up the top, I'm going to use one of my mini dimensionals to hold that down. Okay. Do any of you make Halloween cards? I know Halloween is not something that everybody, celebrates, or I don't know if I want to say celebrate, because I really don't celebrate it. I mean, when my daughter was younger, my granddaughter was younger, taking them out trick-or-treating, but I'm all about like the cutesy Halloween. I'm not into the scary stuff. I think because it's, it's all in fall and all that, so I'm okay with it. I mean, I don't per se, make Halloween cards and send it out. Um, I've just done it like for my videos, and like last year, I kind of commented on this last night, well, yesterday, for yesterday's video, that last year I started doing my videos in near the end of September. So to get content out there, I was doing, I was doing Throwback Thursdays. I was doing Step It Up Saturdays using current product, only because I um, couldn't do lives on YouTube yet. When you're using a cell phone, you have to have at least 50 subscribers before you can do that. And truthfully, I didn't want to do any YouTube videos, not YouTube, Facebook, because Facebook, I've just heard of so many that had problems with it, and I just didn't want to be bothered with it. So when I did my Throwback Thursdays, basically the whole month of October, it was like all Halloween. And can I tell you, between, let's see, pumpkin pie, basic black, gorgeous grape, lemon lime twist, or granny apple green, I started to get really tired of those colors really quickly, because I did so much stuff that was Halloween themed. And it's like, okay, this year I wasn't going to do as much. So now let's make sure I got the card facing the right way. So it was kind of good that, in our catalog, we didn't have much in regards to current stuff that was Halloween themed. So, okay, so on here, because the top of my broomstick is very narrow, I'm not going to get, what do you call it? I'm not going to be able to get a dimensional on there. So I am going to take this broom and I'm going to stick this down. And let me get one of my blocks and kind of hold that down. And then take another one. Okay, and then this one will go over here. So let's try and move this up just a little bit. Take our broomstick and slide it over. Let's get another block to hold that down. And then we got our last one. Okay. Okay, so then this one is going to go up kind of go up here in the middle. And then we want our broomstick to kind of come down here. So I'm going to hold that for a moment. I'll hold that down. Close this up. Okay. And then let's get our cat. All right. And then my cat is going to go right in between all of those. Okay, and then for embellishing, I got these sparkle gems again. So I'm going to add a few of these. And then one more touch to this. I have my black Baker's Twine. This is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. And I'm going to make 3 little bows. I should have like pre-done these ahead of time. So while I'm doing this, again, I'll mention if you're on here watching and you would like to be part of the card giveaway, what I do a wheel of names and I give away the cards that I have made in, in the Friday video. There is pinned up at the top of the chat box. There's a link that takes you to a Google spreadsheet. If you add your name there, then I can add you to the wheel of names and you can go into a drawing for a card. And if you have any problems at all trying to add your name, just leave a comment in the chat box and we can get you added. So for those of you that are on here that don't do Halloween, do you want to go in a drawing for one of these cards? Or would you like me to maybe send a different card that I had done in a past Friday Night Live, prior to me giving them away? Because the giving them away, that was fairly recent. And I still have plenty of cards from what I've made in my past Friday Night Lives. So if Halloween, isn't your thing, I could send you one of those instead of one of these. Just let me know. Okay, so then I'm going to trim these tails down a little bit because we don't need them that long. Okay, Froggy. Okay, so then let me get my glue dots. Okay, and then I'm going to add these right on top of that. Okay, well, just going to add them to the base right on the bottom underneath the broom. Okay, so there is our third one. So there is the third card. Okay. Close this up. All right. So let me bring in the other cards that I did. So we have that one. And we have this one. And let's see who we have on our list. Which one, Carol? The one with the cat? Okay, so on the list, I have Froggy, Carol, and Sharon. So, okay. So with that, okay, so Froggy, I'm going to pull out, I will pull out a non-Halloween card for you. Carol, I'll put your name on. At this point, we only have the three of you. So, Sharon, are you still with us? Okay. All right, so I definitely got number 3 for you. And then I will pull out a non-Halloween for Froggy. And I don't know if Sharon's still on here with us. So I don't see her responding. So I will say this, maybe Sharon will come back and watch the rest of it if she had stepped away. What I'll do is I'll also email you, Sharon, and I will ask you if you want one of these cards or if you would like a non-Halloween card. and I will get a card out to you. So it was just the three of you that were on here with me live. So at this point, it just doesn't make sense to really spin. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So Carol, you definitely have, and never mind the number on there. That's just from when we drew last week. So you have this one, and then Sharon, if you want either one of these, or if you would like a cat one, or if you want one that isn't Halloween, let me know. I'll send you an email, and I'll let you know what there is available, whatever, and then you can choose one as well. So it just doesn't make sense to do the spinning the wheel when there was just the three of you on here. So okay, guys, so that's all I have for tonight. So again, next week I'm going to have a bunch of videos. There's going to be three of them, two on Thursday and one on Friday, that are going to be pre-recorded. So again, next Thursday is Halloween, so I have my special holiday video that I do, and then there's Throwback Thursday. So those will both be Halloween themed. I'm thinking that the actual Throwback Thursday one, it's not going to be a card. It's going to be a little framed sampler type piece that that I had made a while back, a long time ago, with that particular stamp set. So I'm going to recreate that for my Throwback Thursday. And then on Friday, so on the first of each month, I do my monthly Christmas card inspiration. So I haven't decided which set I'm going to use. It may be a current, because I am on a mission to try and use as much of the product that's from the holiday mini as I can before it ends up retiring. So, that, Froggy, let me ask you, is there anything in particular that you like? Like there's flowers, there's butterflies, and you know, uh, what kind of things do you like? And then I can see I have a lot of cards from doing all these videos, so I definitely have plenty to choose from. But if there's something I've already made that, you kind of like and you're into, or even, a favorite color or something, chances are I may have something. And then I'll let you know which video that I actually did that card in. So if you want to go back and you want to watch that video, I'll put in a little sticky note in the card before I send it out. Um, but yeah, I do my monthly Christmas card inspiration on the first of every month. And I am, like I said, I am on a mission that I do want to use as much of the stamp sets or the bundles or the suites that are in the holiday mini. So it's most likely going to be a current set that I use for that. And then, of course, I'll be doing my Friday Night Live. And I'm thinking that just may be the reindeer suite that I may start off with. So, again, if you are not on my newsletter list and you would like to be, okay. And if you would like to be on my newsletter list, there is a link in the description. If you click on that, you just put your name and your email address, and then when I get my newsletter sent out, I'm guessing it's going to be the 5th, because every month Stampin' Up! Comes out with a new kit in their kit collection. And I like to include a picture and description and all that in my newsletter. And the newsletters, typically I just do one near the beginning of the month. The only time I'll send another one in that month is if there's like some special thing going on, like if they offer, say, free shipping or something. But other than that, I don't bombard you with a bunch of emails. So And again, everything is in the description, the what do you call it, the dimensions and everything that I used. And I've also mentioned about those promotions at the very beginning that are currently going on. The links for that is in there as well. So I think that's it, guys. So everyone have a blessed evening. Have a wonderful weekend. Do some fun things. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to be crafting and creating and try to get ahead of the game. And yeah, so everyone, again, have a blessed one, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.